afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything amazing Propagandacast with your host, Paul.A.D, Master Propaganda. Your Lord and Master of here to 1 vs 1 on Crossroads in the south. It is VonIvan fighting here for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the 21st Panzer Division with Mechanised assault vessels in the north. It is Paul.A.D fighting here for King and Country, the Commonwealth. Taking on the role here of the 7th Armoured Division, the Desert Rats. We got infantry machine gun Panzerfaust here for VonIvan with advanced emplacements, Vanguard and Royal Artillery here for Paul.A.D with double infantry universal carrier bulletins, and he's going for a double section start, probably a third one on the way, and then probably universal carrier. MG42 there with assault grenadiers for VonIvan as he commits to some assault infantry versus the infantry sections. Some players like to commit to assault infantry versus the British, since if you can get up close, the high DPS tend to sort of make short work of whatever advantages the British usually have, and that way you can sort of pull through in certain circumstances. So in that regard, assault grenadiers seem to be slightly becoming more common here, though that's a bit hard to say, since obviously I have no great sort of set of statistical data and basically have to rely on what I see a lot of the time, sort of, based off my own experience. But there definitely seems to be something there. Anyways, Universal on the way there for Paul.A.D. That's obviously going to be a problem here for VonIvan in the early games, since, well, he's going to have no Panzerfaust to deal with it. And, well, of course, he has the infantry company, so he can always go for grenadiers for the Panzerfaust, but until he gets there, he's going to be a bit short-handed. Cermak's here being aggressively done by Paul.A.D as he advances up the west side, east side. It's VonIvan, and we see that Paul.A.D is quickly committing the universal carrier to put a stop here to VonIvan's manoeuvres. Catching the assault grenadiers here out in light colour. There you go. More assault grenadiers. So no grenadiers here for VonIvan. He seems like he doesn't care. In fact, he's going to get close to him. And obviously, a bit lower the armour, so theoretically, high DPS weapons like the MP40s, if they can get close enough, they can do some damage to the universe. Can, in fact, slightly substantial damage, but even then, it's going to come at a slightly high cost. But in this case, it seems like VonIvan is not particularly concerned with those costs. Third section away there for Paul.A.D. We'll have to see goes for any Vickers in response to this heavy assault strategy that VonIvan seems to be enacting. Other squad heading westwards there. Sections being dispatched eastward now to try and put more pressure than VonIvan. Universal go down to less than half health. Assault is falling back. Will he go for a third one? What will VonIvan go for? We got sandbags up at the centre victory point. A quick sprint here once he sees it. Could arm to get close in, and there we go, and then sort of deal with them. In particular, out in negative cover, the section's going to be a bad spot. He's, of course, trying to gain distance, but obviously that only means they're not going to be shooting at the assault guns. There you go, force retreat here. So we can certainly see there are some elements there to how the assault guns perform versus the infantry section. That might explain why some players are going to, commit more heavily on that versus the British. Let's go there, but then again, section standing about, they're a bit slow to get into a better position. They could find themselves in a bit of trouble as the MG42, and not quite there. And behind heavy cover, then this gets suppressed soon. They will win against the MG42. Got Pioneers rushing in, but again, they go out in the open. There's oppression happening. He's going to be routed there. Assault going to sneak about here behind Paul.A.D's lines. And we got regular grenadiers out here for VonIvan. So he commits to 2 assault grenadiers. They're a bit too faster to get them out before the last one is reinforced. And then 1 grenadier squad for longer range firepower, which I suppose somewhat reflects the late war Fultz grenadiers, in that they had to sort of 2 assault squads and 1 rifle squad, and so their assault units, well, assault platoons. Obviously, they were equipped with assault rifles. In theory, though, of course, on paper, I mean, in some cases, they had to do with MP40s. So a little fun note there, I guess. Telemines down there from VonIvan. I doubt VonIvan's been reading up and then sort of allowed himself to be inspired by it, but, it kind of makes sense. Either way, Telemines down here, obviously, to catch up the universal carrier, but also like an AC, since the AC Mach 3 is obviously going to be one of the things he's going to be most worried about, since it is very effective. Take up there for VonIvan, sehr good. And if he wants to make use of the 250 half-track, I mean, Telemines are going to make it much easier to use it freely, so you can also then try and bait the AC into a mine there. At which point, I mean, Paul.A.D is always going to be quite vulnerable, since the infantry sections are, well, without snares, so they have no way of really stopping the 250 half-track if it gets close to them, so a 250 half-track unopposed could be a major coup there for VonIvan. Universal coming in from the north, the Cascade are ready, Grenadiers going to have to retreat soon. MG42 soldiers moving up the flank. As Grenadiers quick get wiped out, that's certainly a bit awkward there for VonIvan. Soldiers moving in there, let's prevent that. Sappers on the heavy fire from the MG42, got the munitions point. And all it's been VonIvan right now is controlling most of the map here against Paul.A.D, so that's pretty good here for VonIvan. A bit more of an issue there for Paul.A.D, who is starting here with VonIvan's assault tactics and strategy. Take up down, we'll have to see for ups next there. Like to make a nice company with 2-2s could be an idea. A 250 half-tech could also be something to consider. That obviously, it's something that rarely happens. Unless it's for the flamethrowers. Running assault guns up here for the western fuel point. Invest coming up there with its Vickers K and its little Bren gun in the front there as well. And you for two shifting positions. AC Mark III is a bit off there from Paul.A.D. That's probably also going to be the Valentine tank obviously down the road, since that is also very much a common pick there. There we go, AC Mark III on the way there for Paul.A.D. Doesn't have any minesweepers because he probably should get some, obviously. I mean, against the Wehrmacht, watching out for telemines tends to be a bit of a priority, since they can very quickly derail any light vehicular plans you may have, blowing up your dreams, and leaving nothing but smoke, ashes, and scrap metal. Like any good dream. To be destroyed, that is. AC Mark III on the way there, halfway done. No further check there for VonIvan. No like to Mechanised company. Hard to say that what he's planning. I mean, again, it could be Mechanised assault groups that VonIvan might be scheming for here. Point there secured. Universe coming ahead there, assault groups something up with MP40s. Closing the Universe K with some heavier fire. The MP42 backing up, but they're likely to fall back. They got saps up with minesweepers, so now Paul.A.D is ready for the mighty telemines. Or is he? Perhaps he had a premonition there. I mean, it is a pretty obvious spot to mine, at least the road there. Most people tend to mine the road specifically. But of course, it seems like he might just plan to move in there. Either way, the really close shave there for Paul.A.D. I mean, had he lost that AC there, that would put him in a really bad spot. Mechanised assault group is available for VonIvan. We'll have to see if he's planning that. I mean, he could, but he may not. You never quite know with VonIvan. That's, I suppose, part of his strength. Unit preservation on the hand tends to be slack, where it can occasionally slip up on the other hand. But there you go, Mechanised assault group out there for VonIvan. Fourth section away there for Paul.A.D. And straight for an isolated section in the west. Easy prey there from the Mechanised assault group there. The 250 half-track filled with the Panzergrenadiere. Charging after the section in question. Almost rhymed that one. So yeah, Paul.A.D's going to likely need more sappers, going to need more anti-tank weapons or something else to stop this, because otherwise, I mean, this 250 half-track is going to be having a very good time stopping it. Ooh, dodge that telemine again. Sappers also close nearby, so we could see the 250 half-track go down here for VonIvan. Yeah, it's going to go down, despite best efforts. He is going for the Panzerschrecks, though. Also note, technically, Panzergrenadiers can also be affected by effects of the 250 half-track on the units inside of it, so in this case, they also got stunned by it, though. Technically, they're not supposed to. I mean, it's targeting, theoretically, the treads. You know, and Panzergrenadiers, despite the name of Panzer, aren't exactly made out of, well, treads. Oh, we did some damage to the AC Mark III was going to fall back. MD42 is going to also have to fall back here, as Paul.A.D now has got a more stable battle group, which to punch through VonIvan's otherwise more elastic defense positions. Eastern side is controlled by assault Grenadiers. Grenadiers could of course be equipped with a light machine gun down the road. Telemine stands so far a bit unused. And we got Tegger there for VonIvan pulling ahead here, basically relying on the Mechanised assault group, providing the Panzerjägers to sort of stall out for heavier armour. Not a bad strategy there at all. Tech up there for VonIvan. Assault guns there and Panzer are reinforcing, but both are in dire need of some first aid. Some Sanitäter. Sandbag, oh, back being wired off here by VonIvan's Pioneers. West side being secured there, Paul.A.D and the 7th Armoured, the Desert Rats. Troops are healing and forcing, take up almost done for VonIvan. Section assault there, noting he has not bolted the section. It's a bit of a rare sight amongst British players, to be honest. Since most players will just bolster them. It's a really good upgrade. Arguably a bit too good. At least you look at it, sort of the ratio of how many British players just bolster and never go for Bren guns. Anyways, Vickers machine gun on the way for Paul.A.D to further help sort of push VonIvan's infantry into the dirt and make it hard for him to use his infantry freely. Though of course with armour up potentially soon, that could of course be a problem there for Paul. We'll have to see what he aims up with. Austrian Panzer IV, good choices, but Stuka could of course also prove to be crucial here versus Paul.A.D. We'll have to see what Paul.A.D's long-term plans is. And again, short-term, I imagine it's going to be the Valentine to stabilise, but against fast medium armour, the Valentine does struggle a bit, as it's more than an attempt to sort of push out medium armour, at least medium-ish armour, before the opponent does. But with VonIvan rushing ahead for it, that kind of strategy might encounter a bit of a problem. So he may have to skip the Valentine, at least initially. He can always then sort of follow up with it as sort of a cheap filler tank. to back up the remainder of his forces, but we'll have to see there. Section flanking in this case sappers though, so less of immediate threat. Soldiers could theoretically deal with them. Panzers they're trying to push out, but they met with too much heavy firepower from the United Secure, and the section's also got the Vickers moving from the other side now. VonIvan's positions here by the southeast part of the river there is in a precarious position. He's going to have to fall back here in the face of Paul.A.D and the 7th Armoured Division's continuous assault. So Armoured Corps remains silent, but he's not far off from a Stug or an Ostwind's a bit further. Again, he could go for the Panzer IV. I mean, all three options are essentially on the table for VonIvan. The question is just what he decides to prioritise here, I guess. Right now, though, Paul.A.D is securing a lot of territory. Note he's not laying down mines. And the Telemine, by the way, finally went off, taking out the AC Mark III. Good investment there for VonIvan. Again, a well-placed Telemine, in particular a bit more aggressive within the opponent's sort of, shall I say, sphere of influence. That's usually sort of a part of the base map there. They're sort of within a certain range where the base can sort of be seen as the sphere of influence. And usually that sphere of influence also serves as a particular kind of sort of blind sight. So players, like, how they sort of perceive the battlefield. So usually in that regard, Telemines close to here can be very effective, but also have more of a shocking effect on the opponent. So either way then, good work by VonIvan. Panzers moving in there, section charging with the soldiers on the car machine, and we also got squad leaders being upgraded there as well. Very good. Very nice. 6-man assault grenadiers once he gets them reinforced fully. With better capture ability is pretty good there. Panzerjäger's grenadiers moving up, his section rad forced to fall back past them. And he can go for the Stug now, he can go for the Ostwind in a few seconds, or he can go for the Panzer IV. I mean, Stug would be if he's really worried about enemy armor, but since he's the one rushing out, and he's been sort of reasonably able to control the field point, that's not necessarily the biggest worry here for VonIvan. So an Ostwind to help deal with infantry and the light vehicles could be an ideal. The Panzer IV just to make sure he can also deal with, like, say, the Valentine tank. Since the Ostwind might struggle a bit more with that one. But again, he could go for the Stug if he just wants to, like, put more pressure on just vehicle and armor and sort of, you know, designate to Paul.A.D that he's going to be controlling there, at least for a bit. Soldiers, there's a sections. If you have the munitions public grenade assault, that'd be effective. We can see that Paul.A.D is already spreading out his men because he's likely anticipating a grenade assault. So, you know, he obviously knows that can be pretty unpleasant there for his sections if those get popped off. Valentine tank out here for Paul.A.D, so he's not quite aware. And we got the Ostwind out though. I suspect he's going to counter the Ostwind here and go for the Panzer IV in the face of the Valentine. I mean, he could still stick to the Ostwind, but I feel like the Panzer IV here might be a slightly safer choice. But again, Ostwind can still be used. But it will be a bit more risky, but then again, I don't think risky ever deterred VonIvan from doing anything in Company Heroes 2. Then going to the outpost down, slightly landing on the side of the back of the Valentine tank, doing some very light damage, but nothing really threatening there for Paul.A.D. Flak Panzer there down for VonIvan. And the 21st Panzer Division. AC Mark III in the way there for Paul.A.D. That's interesting. He's not taking up. He's taking sort of an AC Valentine tank strategy, which some players do seem to be fond of going for, though it's obviously not without its risks, particularly if, you know, say, Stugs are brought up, possibly in larger numbers, or just Panzer IVs. Either way, though, Universal Care down. Panzer X could take off the command Valentine tank as well here for Paul. Almost got the Panzerjägers, though, also moving up the eastern side, tearing through Paul.A.D's eastern forces. Also, the name of VonIvan, we got 3 kills so far. Quickly racking up the kill count there against Paul.A.D and the Tommies. Down to half health. Not quite landing any kills, but I think the next volley there, or salvo, should do the trick. There we go. Casualties piling up. But the heavy cover is helping there, so it makes it hard for the Ostwind to aim and sort of hit them properly. It's not just damage reduction you get from behind being heavy cover, but also to become overall harder to hit. But there you go. Section could very well go down here. The assault guns Ostwind does the job, and there you go, full wipe. Paul.A.D there too slow to retreat, should not have taken the Ostwind lightly. And he's coming into a lot of AC Mark IIIs. He's going for a lot of them. I mean, if you can handle that many AC Mark IIIs, I mean, they can take on a variety of medium armor. But it is going to be tricky, and it's going to require some good micromanagement. Otherwise, it does have a good chance of just fading. And of course, if, say, VonIvan just goes, say, I don't know, double Stug, they could quickly run into some issues. Machine gun almost taken out here by Paul.A.D's artillery. Airburst shells and regular shells going off like fireworks. Panzer moving up here again with the combined arms ability, can always keep pace with the Ostwind and support it. Section taking fire from the flak Panzer. Panzer moving to keep dealing down to the AC. The AC rushing through the smoke here, making it hard for the Panzer to hit it. Flanking up behind it. Other ACs coming from the other side. So in this regard, the first AC basically ends up acting as bait, but looks like he overlooked the possibility there of a Grenadier squad. But the other AC could rush in and finish it off, as in this case he's likely banking on the fact that VonIvan is not going to expect double ACs. So there you go, quickly following up with another one. He's likely going to lose this one. Though, I mean, an AC for an Austrian is kind of a good trade-off there. Of course, if he loses two, that's going to be another matter entirely. But seeing as the Austrian is more expensive than an AC3, you know, it's not a bad trade-off. Though obviously, it could have been better there for Paul.A.D. And if he'd gotten both AC out there alive, that would have been brilliant. But that did not quite happen. Also worth noting, I missed this. He actually went for another Grenadier squad, putting him in on a total of 5 infantry squads, which is a lot of infantry. And Paul.A.D. responds with more infantry. So this battle is slowly being flooded with more and more infantry from both sides. More sections, more sappers. We'll never see if Paul.A.D. takes up, which is just going to commit to more ACs. Baker's moving up there. Valentine tank trying to get away. May have to throw down a smoke screen to cover up the retreat here. Sappers sections moving out. Baker's retreating. We got 398 versus 351. If he can get around the corner here, he should have a good chance, but no, he continues into the base in a more straight line, which allows the Panzer to easily get within range and they go for shot. Baker's opening up then to press the troops. Close one there though for Paul, but he did manage to stop VonIvan's raiders. In the west side here though, assault grenadiers with machine gun support there, stalling up VonIvan's force, or Paul.A.D.'s forces. Grenade assault here, didn't quite land the hit, and the AC takes some line hits with an MD-42. Assault guns there could stand to be upgraded. Section there cutting off more points, but Paul.A.D. has been denied his fuel once more. AC going for it. We got a Panther on the way there for VonIvan and the German Panzerwaffe. Pushing eastwards, not a bad idea I think there by Paul.A.D. rather than just trying to charge into VonIvan's waiting machine gun. Machine gun there. Could just getting marked out here. VonIvan needs to get out of there fast. Baker's opening up there. Pioneers need to be careful. Otherwise, just continue eastward push there for the eastern fuel. But I think it's a good move there for Paul.A.D. A few mines I think could also give Paul.A.D. some good leverage here versus VonIvan and his Panzerwaffe. Back here, Valentine's been fixed up. No further sign of anything. Again, he might just go for another Valentine tank. I mean, 2 Valentines versus a Panzer. Again, it's going to be tricky, though he can pull it off. Still supported by the Valentine tank. But again, it's going to require that Paul.A.D. handles his Armoured Cars and Valentine tanks quite exquisitely well. So it's not something I'd recommend for like any newcomers. And there you go, more ACs on the way there for Paul.A.D. Section there being routed. Shot fired, bounced off the Panther's armor. Quickly backs off with the AC there. He's likely trying to bait VonIvan to challenge it in this Panzer IV and then somehow try and take it out there. Pelt it with anti-tank grenades and slowly wear it out. Probably hit it with an AC, then moving up from the other side here. In the fires here though, assault grenades quickly taking over care of the section there. Good work. Artillery running down here on VonIvan's forces. Panzer IV dodging the west, but there you go. Light hit there, damaging the Panzer IV lightly, though technically artillery was actually a big problem for tanks when they got hit by it on top, since most tanks' top armor was actually quite light. There he goes charging the base here, but they're going for getting hammered. Panzer VI's backing up. Again, making good use of the combined arms ability to keep the tank supported and make more effective use of them. So thumbs up there to VonIvan. There you go. When we hit, he might try and get off a target trait there. Yep. It's going down the Panzer IV. AC, there we go. As expected, it's going to take another route to get behind the Panzer IV. So he's able to. I'm not entirely sure this was bait. I think it was more VonIvan extending, but still either way though. The result ends up being the same. The Panzer IV got too deep and gets flanked here by the AC and taken out. There you go. By Paul.A.D's smaller and more nimble fleet of light medium-ish vehicles and tanks. So thumbs up there to Paul.A.D. Good handling. Again, it's going to be trickier for some players to handle, but Paul.A.D. here definitely seems to have a good grip on it. Pioneers. White and a flame for a drop. That's a big problem there for VonIvan, since now he's got no Pioneers, meaning no way of repairing his stuff. But of course he's now just down to a pair of Panzerschrecks, which may struggle with these kind of numbers from Paul.A.D. That is, armoured numbers. He may have to go for Stumgeschutz right against something with more firepower there versus all the ACs and the Valentine tank. They're of course going to have to keep them properly supported to avoid them getting swarmed. But Stumgeschutz would be, I think, the faster and more economic way of just, building up some serious anti-tank firepower that can threaten Paul's Armoured Cars and Valentine tank substantially. Still, VonIvan is maintaining good map control, but again, with no armor support and no way of laying down mines, and Paul.A.D now very much ascendant with his fleet, he could very well give VonIvan a hard time again. But for now, at least, he's still on the defensive, as VonIvan is clearly not too particularly intimidated by it. But you're against the heavy vehicles, so far it's British vehicles. So they can barely make a good cup of tea. Everyone good teas with schnapps in it. Now the vehicles on the way there for Paul.A.D to help contain the infantry. Again, he's clearly having a bit enough to have the infantry, and also imagine the Panzerjägers. Ooh, you see they're flanking about in the south. On with a damaged engine. Quick work then fixing up the Valentine tank. And he's charging into the base. He's going for the medic bunker. And we got another Panzer 1 over for VonIvan. I mean, that solves an option. Again, a part of me would like to see the Stumgeschutz here, but a build rate though for Paul.A.D is certainly highlighting some of his particular skill sets there. An aggressive maneuver that is certainly going to frustrate VonIvan there a bit, since again, he's now without any sort of healing for his troops. He's going to have to rebuild it, meaning manpower and munitions being put towards that. At least he doesn't need the Pioneers, then he can just build it with the Grenadiers or the Assault Grenadiers. I mean, that's a small relief there for VonIvan, I imagine, though I suspect he doesn't quite see it like that. AC good to go, Valentine tank still being repaired. You got 398 versus 248. Paul.A.D definitely needs to do something a bit harder to swing map control back in his favour, because despite again landing a tactically advantageous engagement and doing some heavy damage to VonIvan, he's not been quite able to pull through it because VonIvan just charged in there and just disrupted Paul.A.D's attempts at gaining map control. Panther moving in, that's also going to make things harder, though again double AC is going to make things difficult for the Panther with Tran. Though at least again, as you might notice, the Panzerjägers pretty much stay close to the Panzer IV, acting as support there for it, so thumbs up there to VonIvan for some sensible tactical play.
The weapon crew are, I'm afraid, quite dead.
Machine gun cleared out, going to strike, and we got the third AC. I mean, Paul.A.D definitely wants to run an armoured car strategy, and I mean, sort of terms of like light vehicle strategies, they're more likely to succeed. I mean, the AC is probably the sort of one you can base it the most around, because again, it can sort of reliably punch through medium armor, and again, the target tread ability is also very good ability. Just that way, you should catch extended tanks and make them easier prey for it. So I can see it working. Though obviously, again, it's going to require a particular skill set. But right now, though, the major issue for Paul.A.D is still in the defensive, and is forced to have to play much more offensively. Machine gun got cleared out there, so that's 2 machine guns gone. He can at least recruit that one, but it's also quite clear VonIvan doesn't really particularly care to grab his opponents. We've got more Pioneers than VonIvan, very good. I mean, he needs them. Like, even if he doesn't want to go for the heavy Panzer Corps, he needs them just to repair his tanks. Because while VonIvan's strategies and tactics can at times be seen as eccentric and a bit idiosyncratic, they're not stupid. Unless he really wants them to be. I mean, that can also happen with VonIvan, but on average, they're not. But there you go, following up with the Stumgeschutz here, very good decision. I mean, again, with those many swarms of armoured cars, it's going to need something more firepower and also a bit of range there. So, Stumgeschutz, I think, going to be the right choice there for VonIvan. Double Stumgeschutz, I think, would be the correct choice. And he could then, backed up with the Panzerjägers and the Panzer IV, quickly sort of tear apart a assault there from Paul.A.D's Armoured Reconnaissance platoon. As it's essentially devolved into a platoon of armoured cars, back commanded by a Valentine tank. Well, that would be a squadron, really. I think they called it that. Squadron, so it's based more around cavalry lines. Anyways, easily charging in. He's going to go for the flank of the Panzer IV. Stuttgart's moving in. Panzerjägers nearby. Panzer IV, though, down to less than half health. We got to look cold as well to further disrupt here. VonIvan's defense position. Stuke, they're moving in. Should be able to get the Valentine tank here. Pantherfall down. Valentine tank got exploded by the Stuke. Needs to keep backing up with the Stuke. Needs to get the grenades in the Pantherfall as well. He doesn't back up. The Stuke, at least he's too slow with it. Not good there by VonIvan. Not good. He should have kept distance better with the armoured cars. As soon as they began moving towards it, he began reverse moving all red towards his own base there, but a bit too slow there, resulting in losing both the Pantherfall and the Stuke there to Paul.A.D's roving patrol there. He did get the Valentine tank, but comparatively, he didn't really do enough damage to make compensate for the other loss, and certainly highlights again just what a squadron of ACs can do this. Is again, they pack quite a punch. They got good penetration, and they're reasonably nimble and fast. I mean, again, you kind of suddenly need good defenses to stop them, and again, good distance. And in this regard, VonIvan just failed to keep the distance with the Stuke. Punchjäger's moving in. Almost got an AC there. Got one AC though. That's going to help compensate further for the armoured losses he's suffered, but even then, need to pull the ACs out. That one's got a damaged engine, so might struggle a bit. And there you go, another anti-tank out for Paul.A.D, so he maintains overall the numbers he's got there reasonably well. As for VonIvan, we'll have to see what he does next. I mean, he's now lost several Panzer Force and a Stuke. $145 versus $396. Paul.A.D is definitely behind the victory points compared to VonIvan. Fuel cache up for VonIvan. Interesting timing there, not necessarily bad, but we'll have to see what he ends up planning with that. I mean, I suppose there's the option trying to go for a Tiger tank, but he might lose too much ground there to Paul.A.D's squadron. Assault on the Vickers machine gun there, but lacking sufficient punch to pull through, then clear out the machine gun, but at least he forces it away, which is something. Now the Vickers there for Paul.A.D against him to try and contain VonIvan's infantry. He's going for second fuel cache. So we got double fuel cache now for VonIvan. Interesting. Either he's planning on getting out a lot of armor very fast, or he's planning on a Tiger tank now. It's a bit hard to say with VonIvan at the moment though what the exact plan is. I'm guessing it's more armor, but theoretically it could be a Tiger stall, though I don't think I'd advise that. But it could be. It could be. And he's building two fuel caches, he shows he's trying to more properly actively engage in it. Note we got Stuke, so yeah. He's going to rely on numbers. He knows he has to do something that, again, that can sort of remotely match the ACs in terms of like just DPS, and that's really where the Stuke sort of does the best job. Plus he's got more range. Of course, the lack of turrets, it's going to come down to distancing it properly and supporting it, but like a pair of Stukes, for example, could quickly tear through most of Paul.A.D's armoured forces. So it's going to be interesting to see here if VonIvan can manage those Stukes a bit better than the first one. Machine gun, of course, also make it a bit harder here for VonIvan to use his Panzerjägers free against Paul.A.D's armoured squadron. Stuke almost done. Artillery raining down. Stuke out. Damaging in the Valentine tank. Ooh, unit wiped. VonIvan's time to run out of infantry. We still got the victory point lead, but casualties are starting to make themselves very felt here on VonIvan and the 21st Panzer Division, which in fact had fought in North Africa before being destroyed and had to be reconstituted in Normandy. He sees the flank on the street getting extended too far, but this time he's much better at sort of getting out of there faster. Panzerjägers coming in as well, so he can properly support it. Very good. Again, as you can see there, if you can sort of make use of the Stuke's distance better, it gives a much better chance of dealing with the ACs. Sort of going for the Vickers machine, get rid of that. That's going to be huge. Of course, that means there's then no obstacle for the Panzerjägers to support the Stuke more freely, and there you go, wiped. Veteran 3 assault grenadiers there. 10 kills. He can, soon go for another one. He's roughly a minute away there thanks to all the fuel caches. Geballte landing on the machine gun. Going to clear that one out. Almost. Another AC on the way there for Paul.A.D, but more pioneers for VonIvan since he's lost another squad there. He's going to need to fix up that Stuke as well. he's not far off from the second Stug. And again, double Stugs should prove to be decisive against Paul.A.D and his Armoured Reconnaissance Squadron. Wait, double fuel caches, a rare sight in a 1 versus 1. But not necessarily a bad investment if done for the right reasons, and getting Stug is always a right reason. M12 and the Vickers here, catching it by surprise. And moments away there from the second Stug, and again double Stugs here I think would be the crucial moment. He could go for the Austrian, go for, I don't know, Panzerhorse, whatever, but I don't feel like double Stug G is going to be the right choice, and there you go, double Stug G for VonIvan. Sehr good. Let's look with the punches against the Eastern Victory Point. Section they're holding up, but they are going to be overwhelmed here by the sheer tenacity of VonIvan's assault infantry there. Lacking grenades, he's also got no way of really punishing this kind of a tactic here. It's a bit of a blow there to Paul.A.D. Grenades would have been a good idea at some point. And instead we got another AC Mark III on the way, which is then going to get into double Stugs. The Armoured Squadron is on the move again, advancing up across the western side. Grenades in the centre being held here with the Vickers, but the Vickers ultimately falls back. Stug moving eastwards. Second Stug almost done. We might try and use one Stug as bait, and that way conceal he's got another Stug. So most players should at some point expect double Stugs. Now will be good. Very good hit. They're taking out 2 sections with 1 Stug. AC moving in there, catching the fuel cache. Second Stug around from there. He's actually splitting them up. They're not keeping them close together. That's a bit dangerous. But on the end, we got the Valentine moving in there. Might have hoped to flank the Stug. Need to get the Panzerjägers down there. There we go. Direct hit from the Stug frontally. Other Stug nearby. Oh. It's going to turn into quite a messy engagement. There you go. Panzerjägers arriving. Stug here needs to get distance between it. Doesn't happen. Instead, Yarpin's doing heavy damage to the AC Mark III. Valentine tank down. And AC down as well. Not quite the way that I'd hoped the Stug would be employed, but then it's working out. And there you go. Second AC down. Double Stug with a bit of support there to the rescue. All of a sudden, Paul.A.D's Armoured Squadron has suffered catastrophic casualties with one Valentine tank and 2 ACs down. Him now with just 1 armoured car in the face of a light understrength armoured assault gun platoon. With the sniper on the way there for VonIvan. Interesting choice here. Figured more assault guns perhaps would be the right choice, but sniper can also work, I guess. Pin up machines being added to the Stug for more anti-infantry firepower there. Very good. Fun fact, late war Stugs were actually more commonly known to also have a coaxial machine gun roughly around there, so they had more anti-infantry firepower. Further highlighting they were assault guns and not tank destroyers, because if it's only meant for destroying tanks, you don't bloody well add more machine guns to the thing, since, you know, machine guns don't do anything against armour. Unless, like, you make the tanks out of, I don't know, paper mache, at which point, you know, good for joining in the war, New Zealand, I guess. Anyway, so assault guns there, tank through the machine gun there. Almost got it wiped. 304 was 142. Stug, they're very close to fetching 2. Good hit there from the Stug. Closing to mention 4 there. He's about to flank the Stug. Scheiße. Oh, extended there. Panzerjägers are moving in.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
That was definitely a bit of a silly one there by VonIvan. Bit of a not good move there. He might get the AC though. Oh. Other Stug moving in. Bomb grenade out. Oh dear, he actually managed to turn this around somehow. Paul.A.D failed to finish off the Stug. Oh, never mind. I spoke too soon. He did get the Stug, but he's going to lose the anti-tank, and his AC is going to be in a not quite good condition to support. And VonIvan can just go for more Stugs now. Plus he can grab the anti-tank and all destroy it. That also works, for sure. So now with over 4 kills, Paul.A.D's forces are now looking increasingly more scattered as the might of the Stumgeschutz is breaking his fiendish armoured reconnaissance squadron strategy into tiny, fine pieces. 5 kills on the Stug, 2 vehicle, 3 infantry. More is there for Paul.A.D as he refuses to back down from his strategy. Machine gun right here by the Sturmgeschütz. Looks like he's going to go for a Panther 4 now, deciding he's not needing more Stumgeschutz against Paul.A.D.
Armored car completed.
Which could perhaps be true. S-minus down to help defend against any immediate movements there. 131 versus 276. Is he going to go for another one already? VonIvan can go for Panther 4, so he could, I suppose, try and stall for the targeting now, though that'd be a bit silly. Big push there, Sappers, Armoured Cars moving in there. Need to get the Panzers at the support, there you go. Rushing in there, good hit. Close to into one. Panzerjägers follow the rockets at the wrong targets. Otto, Helmut, you Doomcops. AC there, pop smoke, but they're taking heavy hits from the Panzerjägers up close anyways. Stug now on the pursuit, it's on the hunt. The hunters have become the hunted. Italy called in. Stug pursuing, Panzerjägers moving from the other side. And there you go, trying to turn it around there, Italy called in still. VonIvan sees through his ruse, there we go, takes out one AC. Stug quickly turning around there, penetrating hit, but there you go. Both ACs go down to the Sturmgeschütz. 7 kills. Deutschland prevails. Another sniper out there for VonIvan. We got another mountain tank on the way here, but will it be enough against the Mechanised Sturmgeschütz? Die beste Geschütz, or der beste Geschütz. Das beste Geschütz. I don't know. My German grammar was always appalling. I can pronounce it well, but by God, do I fail at the grammar. MG4 took on his flanking up behind him. We got Rifle off there, landing an excellent hit there, wiping up Paul.A.D's machine gun crew. Valentine tank charging forwards. The Stug can sort of set up a decent position. Might have a chance to back up with the Panzerjägers. Looks like here Paul.A.D's on a suicide mission of vengeance. There we go. Target weak point there, and the Valentine tank is in a bit of a sticky spot there against the almost ready to Stug. Shot bounced. Panzerjäger trying to catch up. Stug takes it out. The gains 52, and it's Schützen. With that, we got GG. GG. Game over. Victory for the fatherland. Victory for the Stug. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell your friends, tell your family, but don't tell your enemies because, well, you know, we don't want them to get better. And if you like what I do, you can donate or pledge on Patreon. Links in the video description. Every donation, every pledge helps me to keep doing this day after day, so do consider. This is Imperial Lane signing off, and see you all tomorrow for a nice episode. You're all a wonderful audience. Cheers.